welcome to session 25. Pretty sure I got that right. Yeah, it's going to be session 25.
One of them.
It's some kind of session. Right, session 25. So, you guys had been making your way down the River Reich, travelling towards Kemperbad. Planning to push on, I believe, towards Grissenwald after reaching that esteemed market town. However, you've pulled over on the side of the river not too far from the hamlet of Omling, as you have been met by a handful of dwarf engineers, the leader of whom introduced herself as Einjuls Eisenbeard. She explained that she has an imperial commission to be constructing some sort of watchtower, as you understand it, some sort of signal tower. Apparently there is some sort of construction project going on for these towers to be built along the length of the River Reich, as some sort of signalling device for the army to communicate better and to generally improve security throughout the Empire, in order to help defend it from threats. There's the crew have started disembarking at the promise of earning more or less a week's salary for a day's work. They're quite enthusiastic about the idea of working for this dwarven engineer, who, on the other hand, has raised some concerns about her crew going missing. When you first arrived here outside Omling, two of her crew attempted to board your vessel and pay for passage to get away from the place, and were only shamed into going back to the work site by the arrival of their employer. As you, as the gangplank is lowered and many of the crew start disembarking, Renate is leaning against the freeboard of the helm, looking over at the tower thoughtfully. It's been there for a long time, you know. Probably at least 5 generations now. It's very old.
You've been down here before then,
Yes, I passed through here with my employer a few times. It's very ancient structure. Some say that it dates back to the days of Sigmar, even. Though, these days, it's not much to look at, is it? A bit of a ruin now.
I guess it'll take him a while to get the full thing bloody repaired. It looks in sorry state.
Anyone so inclined who wishes to examine the structure further, you can make either your choice of a hard perception test, a challenging evaluate test, or an easy engineering test, if you have it.
Take it ranged engineering isn't an engineering test, is it?
That does not qualify. I want trade. I want trade
What was
engineering.
that again?
You can have a hard perception test, a challenging evaluate test, or an easy engineering test.
Challenging evaluate, you said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this is a El Susador thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's something a bit wacky about your microphone at the moment, Lex. I'm not sure
In what way? I've got crisp on. Does that help?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Must be that then. Okay, fair enough.
Is it better or worse? Should I change?
I think you should probably try turning it off. This sounds a bit odd. I think because there's like a TV in the background or something, and it's like trying to muffle that, and it comes out really distorted and odd.
Ah, sorry. How's that?
I think that's better. So, yeah, okay, so let me just see your results here. Okay, Siegfried. Yeah, that was last week, okay. Siegfried...
Is this, just to interject quick, is this like a classical building?
This is not a classical building, this is an imperial building.
Oh yeah, El Susador has no interest at all in this building.
Okay, alright. Yeah, so looking over the structure, you believe this thing is probably somewhere in the region of maybe 1,500 years old, roughly.
Oh, wow.
You couldn't put an exact date on it, but this
How
thing.
old's the Empire?
2,151.
It really goes back to nearly that first Chaos invasion.
Yeah, it goes back a long time. this building. You don't know too much about the structure itself. You're only familiar with some of the architecture that you've also seen on a few other ruins elsewhere in the Empire. It kind of follows the same kind of structural rules, if you like, for the way that it's been built. That said, it's kind of hard to determine any kind of specifics about the place. It's so ruined and dilapidated.
Can
But
I take a Law Reichland test to see if I know anything about the history?
Hard.
Hard. Okay. Never mind.
Okay. Unfortunately, nothing comes to mind, as even in your passing interest in history, nothing presents itself as you examine the structure. However, you can tell it must have been built by someone very wealthy, undoubtedly, given the enormous expense that must have gone into constructing this thing when it was at the height of its majesty.
More of an engineering, or?
Possibly. You are not familiar enough to tell. You think it's quite advanced, certainly.
Probably, but can't really tell for certain.
You aren't familiar enough with the time period to make an educated guess about that.
Okay.
But you can tell it's a sophisticated piece of architecture. It's well put together, and it must have been to be able to stand this much time, even reduced as it is. You can see that there's some kind of scaffolding that's been set up here, presumably by the dwarves, made out of wood. You can see that there is kind of like this half-finished, large, kind of enormous brazier type thing, like a fire pit, that they're trying to mantle on top of the ruin of the tower. You can see all of you can see this part. There's about maybe 6 or 7 dwarves kind of ambling around, doing various little odd jobs here and there, tinkering away at this large structure, scaffolding. They're all wielding tools, pulleys and ropes and stanchions. And they're all quite busy at work. It's probably getting on a bit later in the day. Einuls is very quick to start directing the members of your crew that have volunteered, which is most of them, actually. The only ones that haven't is Big Sig has decided to stay on the ship.
Me to keep his energy.
And so has Godric Fellhauser and his wife. They've both decided not to get involved and instead stay on the ship as well and keep doing some chores there.
Right, well, still talk how I guess we should disembark.
Listen, Captain, if you want to go aboard, if you want to go on shore, don't you worry. I'll make sure the ship's all right. Me and Renee here, we'll look after it.
I'm positive you both shall. We won't be far anyway. If it gets a bit too sketchy.
Well, you know, sir, you can never trust dwarfs. Might try and nick our shit.
Well, you'd be surprised. We used to know a good one. Anyway,
Nah, ain't no such thing as a good dwarf, sir.
Get them to give you their word and they won't break it. Getting them to give you your word is the problem.
You some sort of dwarf lover, Siegfried?
Do well in trade.
he likes them for the coin. Anyhow,
Yeah, they rarely surrender.
Yeah, well, you know what? Don't be inviting none of them on this ship.
now what's your issue with dwarfs? It seems like the cut runs a little deep.
What do you mean? They're all misers. They're all thieving misers, aren't they? Betrayed my dad back in the wars, didn't they? Betrayed all of us.
Literally handed a side quest, rather interested in getting the psychology of a dwarf hate.
Right, well, just don't say anything too crass to any that might come by the
Look,
ship.
I'm not going to start no fights, but I'm staying right here on this ship.
Right, that's good, man. And guess that's
Anyway, I need to make sure these 2 new hires know what they're doing.
Right. Well, who else? Looking for the rest of my crew. Are they in
I'm
front of
just
me?
wandering off talk to the foreman about the last sightings of her disappeared crew.
Right, well, I guess if everyone's gonna start investigating, I'll do so as well. I'll probably go towards annuals.
Okay.
I'll probably just go with Kurt. Since there's no point, since if we're gonna be staying here, might as well.
That's fine. Okay. So what is Romolo and Ruiz doing?
I'm gonna go talking to the boys. I think that's my aim. I want to get.
When you say the boys, do you mean the crew or the dwarves?
I mean the dwarves, the workers. I want to kind of have a look around the tower and
Okay.
have a little chat, see if there's anything dodgy going on. Is she being all the way honest? That kind of thing.
Okay. What about Ruiz?
He's bored and smoking, but he'll go along with Romolo if it means going to a pub.
Okay, let me just do a little quick bit of reading here. Just,
I'm betting El Susador knows how drunk dwarves like to get.
So this is just like a tower overlooking the river on a hill.
there is a it is a tower on like a riverside hill,
Good.
And it's got actually.
Every time you say signal tower, it makes me think Little Nightmares.
Let me just
Is it
check.
that little tower there? Or towers along the road from Onling?
It's not represented on the map.
Ah,
So,
disappointed.
yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. I'm just checking your skills to see if there's anything suitable. Kern, can you make a hard intelligence test, please?
Right.
As I assume you're asking that question in the context of kind of like examining it a bit more and looking around at the rest of the environment.
The usefulness of the. Sorry, I'm getting that. That's my token. No, there we go. Yeah, like the general
Yeah.
usefulness.
You don't have any skills that would be suitable, so I'm asking for an intelligence test.
What difficulty?
Hard. Okay. As far as you're not much of a strategic mastermind. You're not a tactician. You don't really know much about history. You kind of look around. It's like, oh yeah, it's a tower. It's on a hill. Makes sense, I guess. That's kind of it. That's the sum of your figuring, I'm afraid.
We're gonna build a tower. That's why I put a tower.
Makes sense. Put it on a hill. Yeah. So Romolo and Ruiz. Okay. So Antarius is following Kern. So the two of you are kind of looking around the grounds in general, trying to. Antarius, you can also make the hard intelligence test since you're following Kern around at the moment.
Sure. Let's see what I do.
Nope. Neither of
I
you got it
do.
sussed out. It
Do
seems.
not know what the hell's.
Alright, well, yeah, you take a general scout around, but what you do find is that this place seems to be mostly wildland now. You don't find you take a good 20-minute walk going around nearby. You don't see any sign of any settlements closer than Onling, which is probably a good hour's walk away. You can kind of see it quite far in the distance. But apart from that, there's nothing here. There's no signs of settlement. The whole place is quite overgrown. In fact, there's quite a few small rodents and animals and stuff in the forest. The place has been quite overgrown. Yeah. Meanwhile, Romolo and Ruiz, you guys make your way over towards these dwarves. You manage to find one who's working on the lower levels. Looks like he's setting up some kind of lift or pulley system. Kind of like some sort of elevator type thing to let people go from the ground floor up to the brazier at the very top of their scaffolding. He's cursing and muttering to himself under his breath as he tinkers away. He looks over his shoulder and scowls at you. What do you want, manlings?
Greetings, friend. I am Luis Miguel Juan de los Campos Santos.
Why should I care about you?
Because I am the most interesting man you have ever met.
Well, that's probably not that's a pretty low bar.
Really? I have never met an interesting dwarf.
What, is that how you're meant to start a good conversation? Get out me face!
I'd say the same for you.
Fucking Wazik! He turns back to his lift.
My friend, I was wondering if you had any information about this place. I'm going to, like, be really cool and roll a silver coin across my knuckles.
Okay, make your choice of a difficult charm test or a challenging bribe test.
Oh.
Not have the bribe talent.
I do have bribery. It's more the fact of yeah, fuck it. 1 silver. I'll take the risk. Challenging. Go on, then. This dude does not want money.
You gonna flash your shillings at me? I think you'll get out. Do you know how well paid I am? Get out of here, manling. I ain't got time for that.
Well, how well paid are you?
It don't matter to you, manling. That's my business, not yours.
Perhaps you're not well paid at all then.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm not paid well enough to be here on this bloody accursed ground. He looks around himself dubiously, scowls. He looks pretty unhappy and uncomfortable.
You are superstitious then.
Not superstitious. I'm pragmatic and I know what this place is. Ainul's just refuses to believe us.
Well, perhaps you can persuade us. What is this place?
It's an elven burial ground. They're spirits. They're lurking here, and they remember the war. They remember it. And now they're trying to punish us. They're nicking us, taking us away. Yeah. Ainul's don't believe me. She won't listen. But let me tell you, we'll all be dead here if we stay here much longer. Those spirits, they'll take us all away. Just like they took Fingrim and they took Belagar, they'll take all of us.
Have you seen any of these spirits yourself, or seen anything strange?
I don't need to see them, manling. I can smell them. I know they're here. Listen, you don't believe me. You don't believe me, right? Thingrim didn't believe me either. You know what he said? He said, oh, if there's so many spirits round here, right, I'm going to go out there at night up on the tower, and I'm going to see what happens. I'll come back and I'll tell you. There's no spirits. And you know what? He never came back, did he?
So have any of your friends seen this, or is it just your suspicions and your friend's disappearance?
You go talk to Thungor, he'll agree with me. He knows it's true. He knows what this place is.
See, okay. Because to me it sounds like another situation of, well, you say you want to leave, you're not being paid enough, and then this fellow dwarf of yours saw an opportunity to run.
Did I ask your fucking opinion, manling?
Well, you just had a conversation about burial grounds and how scared you are of elves, so I didn't think you were that much of a dwarf, to be honest.
You insult my honour, you Wazik! Get out of my face! I'm not talking to you anymore.
Okay, well, you can smell ghosts. This is what you're telling me.
No, your manling friend has insulted me. I'm not talking to you anymore. Go away.
Oh, he's not a friend. He's from Talea. Do not worry about him. Listen. How about you bring some beers, okay? We'll go out for a little camp on top. See what happens.
Make a hard charm test.
Was it the beers that swung it?
Yeah. It would have been futile if not for the beers.
I would have gotten easy if I said I brought the beers. Charm.
Yep.
Everyone's favourite.
Probably would have been easy if you said you had Bugmans.
Ah, devastated.
What, you take me for some sort of stereotype? Huh? You think you can just make me your friend with beer? Get out of my face, manling! Go away!
I'll tell you what, Romano, why don't we do this anyway? We'll get some drinks, camp up there, see what happens. And,
he mutters a curse in Dwarfish and then spits, and then turns back to his lift.
Unlike some of us here, we are not cowards and scared of ghouls in the dark.
Wazakumgi.
Coward.
I'm just going to shrug my shoulders and say, I'm sorry, Ruiz. It seems that there is no interest in gambling or good companionship or alcohol in this place.
No, I mean, I was led to believe dwarves were not afraid of the dark.
At this point, your baiting falls on deaf ears. He seems to have completely shut you out.
Oh,
Well, I guess I'll wander off look to Thumgear, whatever his name was.
Thungor. Alright.
That one.
Yeah. You ask around at a few different, few other pieces, workers and stuff, and eventually you find him. And you find him unexpectedly. He's midway up the tower on a piece of scaffolding, and he's sleeping on the job.
I'm just gonna go for like speed to try and keep him off balance and just talk at him. Thumgear.
Oh, hello there, manling. Oh, so I was just resting my eyes.
So I've heard, but your overseer's coming this way, that dwarven lady. I thought I'd give you a warning.
Oh, by Grimnir. Oh, where's my tools? He starts scrabbling madly, trying to find his toolbox.
We've heard rumors about this idea that there are ghosts of elves here. Do you agree?
You've been talking to Cordin, haven't you?
We did indeed. He was not a very companionable person, though. We invited him out for drinks and gambling, and he said no.
Cordin, he isn't the most friendly of types, but he's got a certain way about things. He knows things. You know, his father, he used to be a runesmith. You know, he comes from a line of runesmiths, and they know their business when it comes to that stinking magic.
So, what have you seen or heard?
Well, I'm not the sort of dwarf. I'm not the sort of beard what goes telling rumours and spreading ill gossip. I'm the sort of dwarf what likes to get his job done. Seems kind of ironic, since he was sleeping on the job, but I think that I don't know. It must be some sort of smell, an illness in the air. It must be infecting the other workers, and they're soft, and it gets their brains all mushy, and then they just want to go home, and they don't want to be here no more. That's what I think.
well, let me ask you this delicately. From what I know of dwarfs, you are very, yes, pragmatic. You are very down to earth. You do not believe in silliness, and yet here we are with rumors of ghosts and disease. This is unusual, and it is enough to make me think perhaps there is something going on here. Yes.
Well, look, manling, all I can say is there's no smoke without fire.
Well, I had a proposal earlier that we wait up on the top of the hill at night and see if there's any of these elf ghosts around. Perhaps,
Valea, I'm not getting myself in any kind of business. I don't ask for trouble. That's what stupid beardlings do.
I mean, I don't think it's true. I think it's superstition, but if we can prove to your workers, then maybe they'll work harder.
Well, you know what? If you want to try that, be my guest. But let me tell you, Thingrim thought the same thing. And what happened to him? Well, he ain't here no more.
He's probably in a tavern somewhere.
I don't know about that. Thingrim was pretty dedicated to his job. That's why he went and did it, because he tried to prove the rest of us wrong, so he'd stop, resting our eyes.
Well, perhaps the thing is I'll do this thing for fun, because that is who I am. So I imagine my friend Romolo here would want some kind of payment for this service.
Well, sounds to me like that's something for you to take up with Chief.
I see, and where is the chief?
Foreman's down there. She's talking to some of your worker lads now, those crewmen you brought off the boat, telling them what to do.
She, you say? Interesting.
You didn't meet her earlier? She went off down to your boat.
I was probably distracted.
All right,
But,
well, yeah, her name's Annuals.
Do not worry, I am very good with all females.
Right. Well, manlings, look, I need to get back to work, so if we're done here...
Do you have anything to add, Romolo?
Well, I mean, it seems like we have a very simple plan. We will go out and we will drink and we will have a good time and we will sing and gamble. If any of the dwarves wish to brave and enjoy free drinks and gambling, then they're welcome to. What was it you took off me last time? 5 gold? 6?
Okay. He just leaves you in in empty silence, I guess. Okay, so meanwhile, what is Siegfried up to?
Siegfried was talking with the foreman, you know, that dwarf that met us at the
Annuals.
annuals, that was it.
Okay. What are you talking to her about?
Sort of asking her where the dwarves were that had gone missing, about the history of the building that she knows, sprinkling the conversation with what I found out from that, looking at the tower.
Oh,
Myself and Antara should be with him, unless Antara's wandered off.
But
No, I'm
you
still
two
there.
wandered around the...
all right. Yeah. Okay. So the three of you end up kind of converging with Annuals around the same time, and she nods her head enthusiastically as you approach. Your lads, they're pretty enthusiastic. It's good to see. We're going to get this work done quite quickly, I think, with your help.
Well, you have promised us a pretty penny for their wages.
Aye, well, you know, it's for a job well done. There's coin well paid.
Yes, and I believe that was 5 gold crowns you offered if we found any traces of your missing...
Aye,
dwarves,
well,
wasn't it?
you know, I don't mean to cause no offence, but if you can bring my dwarfs back, they're worth 5 of your lads.
And if we just find them dead, is that worth coin as well? So at least you know what happened to them?
Well, that's not really an outcome I'd be looking forward to, but I, if you can find out what happened to them, at least I'd be able to tell their families.
Don't mind my money grabbing friend here. Yeah, he'd leech anything.
No, what are you talking about? I respect that. A man's got to make his coin. A man or a woman's got to make her coin in this world. Why do you think I took the Imperial Commission?
No,
I'm
fair
glad
enough.
someone else understands the manner of merchants, builders.
It's how it is, you know. If you're productive and you work hard, you get rewarded.
Exactly. Now, tell me, where was it that your men were last seen? Is there some common area?
So I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure that they've ran away. I think that they tried to run away in the night, and the crew's kind of tight, and they don't like to tell me too much when I try to ask questions about them.
How many men have ran away?
I've lost about half of my crew so far,
What's
so
the
that's about 5 or 6.
Right, so 5 or 6 men. Did they all happen on the same night, or was it separate occasions?
Well, we started the project probably 2 weeks ago now. First week it went fine. Then one of my men went missing on the first night, and then everyone kind of just assumed that he'd ran away, or that you know he was some kind of wazik, and he wasn't taking his job seriously. But it was when the second lad disappeared, that's when the rumours started spreading. People started talking, and now morale is terrible. I can barely get them to do their jobs. They're all terrified. No one wants to go up onto the scaffolds because they all think that that's where the magic comes from.
Who was the last
Magic?
man?
What sort of magic?
Well, they've got this silly superstition. They all think that it's some sort of elven tower, and that there's spirits here that are going to spirit them away. It's nonsense, but that's what they're telling me.
Not dwarven work, this tower. Thought that 1500 years ago would put it early ages of the Empire.
To be honest, Manling, I've been looking at the work myself. I don't think it's dwarven work. We thought this to begin with, but I've been investigating the foundations. It doesn't seem like it's engineering that's anything to do with any of our techniques. It seems like Manling work to me. Although, granted, it's a fair sight better than what you Manlings do today. Maybe you were cleverer back in the day. Maybe you listened to the dwarfs more.
How about you, Antarius? How about we have you have a closer look? Maybe might strike some familiarities.
We can take a look. Probably won't be able to figure out nothing. but I can look.
You sound a bit less graceful. Has your nephew been winding you up?
Yeah.
Alphys, for his part, has decided not to take part in the excursion and is instead staying on the boat. He doesn't want to ruin his own dignity with manual labour, which he considers below him.
Well, Annuals, who's the last man or dwarf to go missing?
Well, that'd be Thengrim. He went missing about, I think it was 3 days ago now.
Ingram.
And did he go up on the scaffolding before he went missing?
I'm not sure. I don't really know what happened. All I know is that he didn't turn up for his shift in the morning. I'm in a separate kind of area, a separate kind of camp to the rest of the crew. So it's a bit different, and I don't really know what they got up to over a night time.
Right. Well.
See, it's the way of things. You don't meddle with your underlings. You don't get yourself stuck in with them, because that's just not the dwarven way. It's not how it works. That's how the whole order, the whole system, it starts falling apart. You don't do that.
You don't think it?
Yes, but isn't your system based on people keeping their words?
Aye, well,
Not
apparently,
breaking promises.
I suppose that cowardice is a more pressing matter than one's honour in these days.
I thought your kind took up oath of some sorts when they broke such.
Well, as much as
That
you
works.
seem to be the expert, all I can see is that my crew's gone missing.
Well, you don't think the lads won't mind us walking through their camp?
Well, you're not their boss, so I don't see why not. It's at the same time, well, we are dwarfs and you're not, so I can't make you any promises. Especially, well, she looks at Antarius dubiously.
Did cutter.
Wow.
Yeah. Well. We'll be sure to keep ourselves careful.
Look, I'm not the type to hold. Well, it's a bit ironic, but I'm not the type to hold grudges. But well, as no doubt some of you are quite aware, the rest of my kind, we can be. And well, if you go around with, no offense, with this elf, some of the lads might not take kindly to that.
Will be noted. I'm sure we'll find a better job for Antarius to do.
Well, I'll go back to the boat while you guys figure out whatever it is we're trying to do here. And if you need me, I'll be on the boat. And huh?
We won't be too long. I'll try and find.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the enmity between me and small people, so I shall leave it to you. Fine, young gentlemen, and I'll make my way back to the boat.
Yeah, you're in enough trouble as it is. Well, I'll try. I guess Siegfried, we'd best find the Southerners and see if we can find more about this. Was it Fungrim?
Thingrim is the
Fingrim.
one who disappeared.
Find this Fingrim, or where he was last seen.
Yes, we better get on that.
Right, well, saying our goodbyes to Annuals, I turn around and try and find our two companions of the southern states.
Okay, so I suppose the two of them are probably in the midst of something resembling an argument over gambling. Not too far from the scaffolding of the tower and the small lift that runs up to the upper level. There is also a very old stone walkway, a spiral staircase that circles around the outside of the tower and leads up to a small door.
Pardon me. I'm gonna approach my boys and sorry. I'm gonna walk up to the two lads and try and get their attention, settle them down from their obvious dispute,
I'm gonna walk around the tower, seeing if I can find any hidden entrances or anything carved in Elvish or anything like that.
You can speak Elvish? Oh yeah,
He
you can.
he does speak it, and he is literate, so he probably understands some of it written.
So
as well.
I'm expecting to be able to at least recognize Elvish characters on sight, even if I might not be able to read them.
Okay, so that's fine. Siegfried, can you make for me another hard evaluate test, please?
Odd, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Are you taking that, or are you fortuning?
I don't want to fortune it, but I've only got the one. I can't dark deal that at this point. I'm taking it.
Are you taking it? Okay. You walk around the perimeter of the base of the tower, examining it. You don't find anything that you could recognize or identify as something elvish in any way. The structure is mostly quite pragmatic and Spartan, to be honest. It's made out of this dark stone material. It's not very common. You've not really seen its like too much before. You've seen it a few times in a few very old buildings in Altdorf, but it's not a commonly used material now. It might be
So
some
it's a
sort of
material that would have had to be brought over and...
probably imported from somewhere. It's some sort of like dark stone of some description. It's heavily weathered, although it seems to be a pretty solid structure. The only entrance you've been able to find, the foundation is very solid. There are no cracks, no holes, nowhere for you to like scurry inside. The only entrance that you can find is the doorway at the top of the spiral staircase. Otherwise, the only thing, well, you walk up to the doorway, and as you try to shove your way in, you find it heavily barred.
Let's see if I can find a key for it.
You take a look around, make a futile perception test.
A futile, oh god.
Just pass.
I mean, I only need a hard difficult test to make it exactly the same as a futile.
You take a look around. You check under the doormat. You check in the plant pot. You look around. No, there's no spare key.
I was meaning more go talk to the dwarves to see if anyone had a key, but...
Sure. Okay, we'll come back to what comes of that. Meanwhile, Ruiz and Romulo, I guess you're meeting up with Kearns.
Hello.
Lads, I said, settle down. No one's going to talk to a pair of fucking whining. You remind me of an old couple. What are you arguing about?
Well, we were just trying to bait some people into coming out with us for a drink. But if you have a better solution, then I'm all ears, Kern.
Well, I've talked to Annuals for a little bit, and apparently there's some suspicion among the camp of magic or something about this being a elven or some old curse. So I think there's some. I think it's some. The men are just making up
I'll
some
be back in
lies
just a
to
sec.
flee off into the town.
Yes, we have heard about this, the elven burials. So we have a proposal that we have a little party up there tonight, camp outside. You know, some red meat and beer, and then just prove to all the workers it's safe.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. Well, first I want to try and find one of the workers, the most recent that's been missing, Fingram, something like that. Fingram. Have you talked to any of the workers? Have you just been standing here arguing?
We have spoken to 2 different workers. Why do you assume that just because an Estalian and an Italian go off together, we cannot solve problems? Often we make them, but we also solve them.
Indeed, it was no trouble that we can get out of.
Right. Well, what did you learn? And anything you said you heard about the same rumor, but did you
Well,
did
we have
they say anything about a Fingram?
we have
Well, we
heard
spoke to 2 dwarves.
And you propose a midnight meal under the stars. Well,
We tried to suggest that they go drinking wells and gambling. We thought it was a guaranteed way to get the dwarves involved, but they are genuinely simply scared. They wouldn't even entertain the idea. So I'm confused as what we can do other than perhaps explore ourselves. If they think there's these elvish ghosts buried here, then
I
perhaps
return.
we should go looking for caves or catacombs.
aye. Well, perhaps you're right. Perhaps we'll find something else if we do wait.
Have you guys settled on something you're doing?
no, we're RPing if that's all right.
Oh, well, I wasn't here, so I just wanted an update.
Well, I think we should try and find out more about this Fingram. See how he vanished, and then when it gets dark, we can wait out in the tower.
If anybody wishes to spend an hour or 2 talking to the various dwarves on the site, they can make a difficult gossip test. If you are Ruiz or Romolo, it is a hard gossip test.
Can I try and make this a bit easier by dropping in some knowledge about it being an elven tower, but not having seen any of the beard cutters' marks?
No.
Oh.
Ah! I am not rolling well today.
Was it a hard gossip?
Yeah.
If you are Ruiz or Romolo, it's hard. If you are not Ruiz or Romolo, it's difficult.
I
what?
rolled that as hard, so that should be a better success.
Oh yeah.
Romolo quickly discovers that rumours travel fast, and already the other dwarves have learned about your little encounter with Ivint, and they're unimpressed by your decorum.
I want to fight this dwarf. I'm sorry, guys.
The well's been tainted.
Heal, boy, heal.
Fuck this little bitch boy.
he's been
I
talking
don't know why,
shit.
I don't seem to have gossip.
Should be a basic skill. Let me just have a look.
It might be a basic skill that you haven't got any advanced.
No,
should
no,
have
it's definitely a basic skill.
It is a
looks like
basic
it looks
one,
like he
that.
doesn't have it, so I can add it to you. It's not a problem. There you go. You've got it now.
Mr. DM, I don't want to use any of my rerolls.
Ruiz, you get yourself into a discussion with a handful of dwarves, and it ends up going so badly that one of them starts insulting your mother.
Would you like to repeat that? You're speaking to Reese right now, but perhaps you prefer to speak to El Susador, and I'm just going to play with the hilt of my sword.
It sounds to me like you're more like El Sissidor.
Can I shoot him in the leg, please?
You can if you
Yes.
want.
El
You sure?
Susador or the dwarf?
Oh,
I am actually El Sadador. I saw you. It was very sad, and yet I still did it.
I'm not going to shoot him. However, I will turn my witticisms with El Susador.
Don't-
on the dwarf.
I'm surprised that you'd want to shoot him. Didn't he just like beat your vaunted rival?
don't sink to the level. They'll beat you if experienced, boys.
Oh no, we have gone beyond the level now. This is into dual territory.
Yeah. There's only one person's allowed to insult my Estalian boy, and that's me.
So, dwarf, you have wished to challenge Diastro to a fight. Pick your weapon.
What? I'm not fighting you. I don't want no fight.
Oh, I've got a name for you then, El Polo. It means the chicken.
I'm not no chicken. My father's killed 20 greenskins.
Yes, and you're a builder.
Look, lads, if you want to fight, just
But
do
a
it.
builder is an honourable profession.
It's not a soldier, though.
Your mother had an honourable profession, but she earned coin in a different way.
Yes, and your poor father as well. You know, all those greenskins he killed. And what does his son do? Put bricks together.
You begin riling up the dwarves, and indeed you've now angered most of the crew, who seem to be taking offence as a unit.
Well, the unit can pick someone then, I'll duel whoever. But you wish to insult me, then this is...
Oh, do these manlings think they are? First they started on Ivint, and now they're starting on Keelan, and now, oh, you're going to insult all of us! Our honour's at stake!
Oh, what are you going to do about it? Apparently none of you can fight. You can't even build properly, and you're scared of
Just
ghosts.
backpedaling into
Honestly, I'm going to slowly start inching away now. I was insulting one dude.
suddenly himself alone.
Ruiz, roll a challenging intimidate test, please.
Aren't dwarves supposed to be more stubborn than the average human as well?
You deliver some harsh licks to the band of dwarves, and they glower at you with barely concealed contempt. They hate you. In fact, one of them just mutters, "That's a grudging," and then they start breaking apart and walking towards their own tents.
Sure, the name is Luis Miguel Juan de la Campos Santos. Write it in.
There'll be a reckoning for that, manling.
Yes, well, you have to find a better dwarf than anyone here.
They will write that down, though. That's the thing.
I mean, the idea that somewhere there's a dwarf looking for him just does it for a reason. Just makes his life more interesting.
Ruiz was stood in the middle of a circle of dwarves and is now not in the middle of a circle of dwarves, and all the dwarves have walked away, muttering and grumbling darkly.
I just sort of dust my hands together and pull out a cigar.
It's pretty obvious that you've alienated all of the dwarves on this site.
Bothered.
Apart from Ainul's. Ainul's is probably still
Now on
well
to the
disposed.
successful rolls.
I mean, that was a successful roll.
Yeah, it was a success. He didn't get beaten up.
Can we? So you guys found a door, correct? Is that true?
A door?
Oh, yeah, before these dwarves decided to try or consider beating up Ruiz, did one of them give me a key and any interesting information?
You did ask around a little bit before the whole Ruiz situation started. You found out that a handful of them have tried breaching the door with a battering ram, and some of the others have tried chiseling at the outside, but any of their attempts to get inside haven't worked, and none of them have a key. So they kind of just left it, and they were like, right, we'll just build a scaffold instead.
In what sense? Is it like a magical resistance, or just they couldn't get through it?
They found that they were unable to get through. Their tools weren't working properly. The door was very stubborn. Almost as stubborn as they are.
I'm going to grab Antarius and drag him over to the door.
Well, hang on. Before you do that, I actually want to do something with Antarius before someone comes and grabs him. And as Antarius has returned to the boat, you're kind of vibing there for a bit, watching the silly humans do their silly things. And Althus makes his way over to you with a concerned look on his face. Mr. Simtavir, I've been thinking about our situation. Particularly in regards to your, shall we say, hostage, for lack of a better term, sir.
She's not a hostage. She's a party guest.
Our unexpected companion. Then,
Okay.
in regards to her, as I understand, you delivered a note of blackmail Is that right? To the leader, to the marshal, apologies, of the river wardens.
Yeah.
Stepping away for a second.
Did you sign that letter, sir?
No.
I see. Well,
Yep, be right back.
I'm only deeply worried that if, for whatever reason, it might have turned out that he was not the influential sort of man that you thought he was, then what if our cousins in the embassy are seized as hostages in turn? What if they try to blackmail us?
Well, they certainly could, but then they have open war.
But that's what we're trying to avoid, sir.
That's what I'm trying to avoid, too.
Mr. Simtivi, I kind of get the sense you might not have thought this one through properly.
Well, it was a gamble. I'll say that much. And it's either going to work or it won't.
I feel like maybe we would be more successful if perhaps we could get our companion on side. Maybe. Have you spoken to her recently?
Isolde?
Yes.
I mean, we have talked every now and then, yes.
Well, do you not think that maybe if, rather than threatening her father, what if we got her to send a plea? Maybe that would be more effective. Do you not think, sir?
It could, but you also just worried about him not being influential enough.
Indeed. I am only concerned that maybe there might be a better way than just using people like this, sir. It is most unbecoming, and I feel dishonorable.
Well, I could certainly talk to Isolde about writing her father or her uncle a letter on my behalf, letting her know, or letting him know that she is fine and well.
Your father, your late father now, I suppose, had quite the legacy. He was well respected in Ulthuan, and I begin to wonder, sir, with all due respect, whether or not this is the right path to honour him, to follow in his footsteps.
Are you telling me how I should tread based on my father's wishes?
Roll an easy charm test. Or intimidate, as you wish.
Charms, fine.
No, sir. No, of course not, Mr. Simtivi. I would never think to question you. I only, as is my duty and my honour and my responsibility as your squire, I think it important that I advise you on such matters, that I make suggestions, sir.
Let me be clear on one thing, Althus. As much as I respected my father, there was no love between us. I am one of his many sons, and he has helped me in scorn for many, many years. I've never expected to live up to his expectations, and certainly now that he's gone, I don't expect to change anytime soon. But I do hear your qualms about my certain actions.
Mr. Simtavir, you are supposed to be my liege, and if you... My honour is reflected upon yours, sir. And if I must follow you, then the things that you do, they will speak of me in the same words that they speak of you back home.
Do you think this is really so underhanded? That this isn't like a certain tactic that we would have used back home?
I think that It may not be wrong, but it does not feel right either. At this point, Siegfried has arrived, and has come to ask for your help.
Hey, Antarius. They think this might be an elvish tower, and there's a door they can't get through, even with all their tools. When checking it out, and I'm gonna grab his hand and start dragging him over. Not giving him a chance to refuse.
As you attempt to manhandle Antarius, Alphys steps forward and attempts to manhandle you right back. Can you please make a challenging strength test, please?
Just a couple of boys rolling in the mud.
Oh wow.
Is he strong? Oh, he is strong! And Alphys is apparently not.
Now that Alphys has failed, can I sit on him? Wait, and...
Your enormous, mighty girth is too much for Alphys of Nagaryth to overcome, and you leave him reeling against the freeboard of the ship, staggering as you bounce him out of the way with your mighty girth.
This is the part that I love.
Come on, hurry!
Mr. Simtavir!
You're welcome to come with me, with us. Maybe 2 elves opening this door is what's needed.
Alphys is quick to follow as he scurries along.
All come together, lads.
He does not leave Antarius and instead just falls into step behind you, looking sullen and annoyed.
I'm just gonna quip in Elvish, much appreciated.
He doesn't dignify that with a response. You eventually regroup with Kernt, Romolo, and Ruiz, not far from the tower.
Okay. What am I
I'm gonna
looking
start
for?
pushing him up the stairs now.
You don't need a push. That's what I'm looking for.
So, what is our plan? Because I know that we have we have a barrel of explosives, and obviously we can't seem to get it up. So
Well,
we
the
can
dwarves
probably-
couldn't get it open with all their tools, and I suspect they have some better tools for opening doors than our crude barrel of explosives.
As you guys are talking, you see the group of about 7 or 8 crew members from your ship who had joined in the work. They're walking along as a group, talking excitedly to each other, already holding silver shillings in their hands.
Hang on. Being paid directly?
It does seem that way. They seem to be talking quite excitedly and holding each other's shillings up to the light.
Our crew?
Yes, your crew.
And it was 20 each that was being offered, wasn't it?
Let me just
Was
check
it
my
10?
notes here real quick. 8 shillings a day.
Ah, right. And we
You
told them
guys
half.
wanted to offer them 4 shillings, I believe.
That was it. Oh.
It looks like they've gone to the foreman and they've received their pay cash in hand.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go swanning over to the crew members. And just be like, congratulations, boys. How was your first day's work?
Hello there, Romolo!
How are you doing, gentlemen?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. We did a good hard day's work.
Well, so you've been paid. That's good money.
They paid us right good. It's straight out of the Imperial coffers, this is. He holds up one of the coins to you with a smirk.
Oh, I have
Excellent.
I can
Always
do a
good to
thing.
take. Huh?
I can do a
Yes,
thing.
Ken?
They've been paid so quickly. I'm gonna try and like go back. I've got
Did you say you're gonna try to find
Use
that?
your mouth words.
Do you want to take a second? Numismatics.
Right, join us after the break and we'll find out what Kurt's on about.
Numismatics. Right. Okay.
Basically, I want to see if this is like actual, like they're not skimming our boys off, you know.
Oh, you're
That's
actually
fine.
being nice. I see.
I mean,
Well,
they-
I forget. Sorry, I forget you're not Siegfried. Never mind.
Do you stop the crew so you can examine the coins properly?
I would, with the one that the lads are talking to, the one that's obviously missing a few teeth, I'm gonna just like ask him to see one on the coin, just to I'm gonna make sure they're not ripping you off, make sure this is real coin, and have a look, bite at it, taste it, smell it.
At first, the entire crew kind of like shuffles away from Kern as he comes closer. They all kind of clutch their coins closer to their chest, almost instinctively. They all look a bit nervous.
Are you picking up on this?
Yeah, you can pick up on this pretty obvious body language.
Yeah,
It was then that Kant learned he's a douchebag.
I look at. No, I've become the enemy. I look around the obvious, face of confusion. And like, what?
Hello there, Captain.
How are my boys? I see they.
We got paid, sir.
Oh, that was rather quick of them. I would have thought they would have paid you earlier on. Have you done the job already?
We finished a day's work, so look at the light. It's getting quite dark.
Oh, by Sigma, it is, isn't it? Ah, well.
By Sigmar, it is, isn't it?
I've never heard such an NPC response.
My life's an NPC. You sure they gave you all?
Pretty sure, sir. They said we're getting paid 8 shillings.
And have you seen a actual shilling in your life?
Well, I have, and I've got 8 shillings right here.
Right, let's make sure you boys aren't getting conned here, because something's been fishy around this camp, as you may have picked up. So hand me that coin there. And
Look,
I'll just...
sir, all due respect, like we earn these coins. Don't think we don't. I understand that you're like our employer and what have you, but like you know, we earned these.
Exactly. So right, I dip a finger into my coin purse and I'll whip out a shilling. And I'll exchange you a shilling. So I'm going to make sure they're not conning you.
They look among each other for a moment. Eventually, the one with some teeth missing just shrugs and he comes close. All right then.
Can't want some XP.
Thirsty boy. He swaps a shilling with you, and then he takes your shilling and he bites it, and then he adds it to his pile.
I'd bite it, sniff it, smell it, look at it,
Make an easy evaluate test.
taste it, savor it,
Wow. Where are we going with this?
roll it between my fingers.
This episode is rated 18.
Aventarius charming legs.
What did you say? Easy?
Easy, yeah. You examine the coin. You look at it, sniff it, bite it. Seems good. Seems like a good coin. Yeah. Doesn't seem like your boys are getting cheated. It seems like proper Imperial silver. This ain't no knockoff, no counterfeit.
Alright, well, at least we can trust these dwarfs to pay up. Right, so, have you boys not noticed anything a bit odd among the other workers?
Well, you see, it's kind of strange, sir, because the other the dwarfing lot, they don't like talking to us. Told us that we're all Waziks and that we don't know what we're doing and we should mind our own business. So we just kind of got on with what the lady told us to do. We're mostly just like moving wood and lifting bricks and stuff.
Did you get inside the tower at all, or were you just?
I went up on the scaffolding, sir. But nobody went like inside. I don't think you can get inside actually.
No, I think we've heard about some entrance they've been trying to blast, but you know these dwarves, they're take a long time and they're a bit stubborn. Well,
Oswald said that he went up on the brazier at the top level, and apparently he nearly fell off and he felt really sick when he got up there.
aye, no good at heights, are you, Oswald?
That new voice. No, sir. No, I'm not.
This is actually a cornucopia. You should give yourself 50 XP after. I'm very impressed.
Which character is the DM going to give that to? All three?
It's like watching a man like fall into madness in front of you.
Is what I'm going for.
Quick, pluck another voice out of a hat.
Aye, well, I know you're no afraid of heights. I've seen you up on the mast a few times. So you say you've been pushed, was it?
Well, I didn't get pushed exactly, sir. I was just kind of. I don't know. I got up there and I just felt real queasy all of a sudden, and I just felt that I had to get down. I can't see why, sir.
Aye, well, don't you lads worry too much about it. You've done a good work. Siegfried and the other two new guests, they've likely prepared a meal for you, so head on back to the ship.
Sounds good to me, sir. Let's go.
Yeah,
They continue bumbling off back towards the Bearer Belly. Not the Bearer Belly, the Bogan Harbour.
Turning back to my companions.
Why don't you just rename the ship the Bearer Belly, not the
Bearer Belly
Bogan
2.0.
Same model, different name.
Well, are we gonna try and break this door, and then, or are we gonna wait till night?
The
I've
sun
already
is
got
starting to
Antarius.
go down. It's starting to get quite dark now. You can hear a song coming from the dwarven camp. It sounds like the dwarves are having a bit of a sing-song in their native language, which I don't think any of you speak.
Hi-ho,
Yeah,
hi-ho.
it's that, but in dwarvish.
Gold, 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 gold.
So, who are we waiting on?
Can I wander off and try and pick this lock, please? Let me rephrase. Can I drag Ruiz off and give him my lockpicks to try and pick the lock? Because I can't actually pick locks.
You mean this door that I'm already pushing Antarius up the stairs to?
Yeah, I guess
Oh.
we're converging on the door.
Yeah, I
You're all
guess
kind of converging on the door. Okay, so you're all kind of stood in front of it. Well, if you want to be, and you can see that it's kind of this looks like maybe mahogany it's made out of. Seems like it's quite well reinforced, very old by the looks of it. It's covered in dust. It looks like it's reinforced with steel in certain places, particularly on the hinges. There's a large brass ring for like a handle, and then the knocker is like a little miniature sort of gargoyle.
Now, this might be really stupid of me to ask, but has anyone tried knocking?
Yeah, that's
No,
my,
I haven't actually.
That's my first reactions. That's what I was gonna say. I'm just gonna
I'm gonna
grab
say,
it and just knock it a few times.
I'm gonna
Shrugging.
say, can we come in? Please open the door in Elvish.
As you approach, who steps forward?
Me, I'll step forward.
Right,
Upon
Kern. We'll
seeing
take
the
Kern.
knocker, I'll just
We'll
grab
take
it.
Kern. All right,
Okay.
can you make a challenging cool test, please?
Daddy cool, daddy cool. Daddy not cool.
As you step closer to the door and you look over it for a moment. You reach up your hand and you make to grasp the little knocker in your hand. And as you come closer to it, you feel a sudden like sickness, this nausea, and you feel like you get goosebumps down your spine. All of a sudden, something just feels wrong, and you just kind of recoil a little bit, just kind of by instinct. And your hand just kind of jerks away from the knocker.
Yeah, I'll just step back and just kind of shrug a little bit and, well.
Well, knock it then. That was the plan.
And you go and do it then. I ain't touching that. Don't know how long it's been sitting there, so.
Oh, he's kind of afraid of ghosts too.
It's just a door. Just knock it.
Oh, can't. Is this true?
It's fucking made by your people. Why don't you have it?
I suppose
Kern-
you
if
you
Kern-
can't
If
play
Kern,
a ghost stuff, so it must be frightening to you.
Kern, if you want to, you can spend a fortune point to force yourself to knock it, if you want to.
Oh, can't.
Yeah, let's bully Kern into wasting the fortune.
Yeah, you're the captain. Come on, don't be a coward.
Lucky we get 3 of them.
This is
Yeah.
you're
Can't
the
give
one.
peer pressure and.
He gives into peer pressure and loses a fortune point.
So what was that? Just re-roll with my fortune.
No, you just remove it from your sheet, and you walk up and you're just like, right, fuck this. I'm not gonna look like a coward in front of the boys. You make your way back over and you swallow down that feeling of vomit, and you
I was
take.
so glad you did that. I had this visions of it, like, yeah, I'll go do it, and then just failing roll after roll.
You reach up and you take hold of the gargoyle and you go knock, knock, knock. Nothing happens.
Well, this was
Did
a
it
wonderful
respond
plan.
to- Did
bird-
anything happen when I said, please let us in and open the door in Elvish?
A few songbirds tweet.
Antarius.
You didn't knock hard enough. Try again.
No,
I'm just gonna like push Ruiz forward with the lockpicks while these guys are talking.
you're having a right giggle sitting there watching us fucking try and meddle about with your doors and what have yous. And
I completely am. Keep knocking on the door.
Right, well.
Should we just use the lockpicks? Would that not be easier?
Can I study the door again, see if there's anything I missed? If there's any difference after someone's knocked.
No, there is no difference that you can perceive. Melon.
I mean, who are we expecting to answer?
What's friend in Elvish? Elhon.
You kind of all examine the door a little bit more. No change. In fact, it's a door, and it appears to you've knocked on it and no one came to answer.
Come on, Antarius, do something Elvish.
What is
Give
this?
the lockpicks to Ruiz. I keep saying, Ruiz, roll lockpick check.
I'll just push my way to the front with the
Where does
lockpicks.
this door lead to? Like, is it at the? Does it go?
So
Well, we're
okay,
about
so
to find out when I
the tower is probably looking at it like so. It's a ruin now. The original structure is probably something like 25 feet tall. The original structure may have been something like 40 feet, maybe 50 feet tall. But now it's like half of it has crumbled away and disappeared, and you're not sure where it might
It's
have
not
gone.
exposed any of the entrances anywhere, has it?
No, up above there is like scaffolding that has been built on top of the ceiling of the old foundation. You could go. None of you have actually been up there yet. You could go and examine it if you wanted to, but you just know that there's there's a construction.
Romolo.
Yeah, those guys did go up. They went up onto one of the platforms, but you haven't been to the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you went to talk to one of the dwarves up there.
I'm just getting a sense of scale. So.
You can yeah, so it's probably about 25 feet tall. The door itself is probably somewhere between 5 and 10 feet up, so it's kind of middle. It's kind of lower mid of the current structure.
So it kind of as if it would lead underground.
As if it would lead into the base of the tower.
Alright, I got you. The foundation.
So like the ground floor, if you like, of the tower.
Well, if Antarius decides to stop being a smartass, we should just set a wee camp here, wait the night, or did you want to do it at the top of the tower?
I mean, we haven't even checked the top of the tower, or like the outside scaffolding at least.
But the 2 Southerners did. They just, and you know, the lad I worked there said he didn't feel quite well up there, and after seeing that door, I don't quite blame him.
Okay, Kat, look, let's stop discussing. Let's just move out the way. I'm going to lockpick it, and we're going to go in, we're going to find out what's going on. There's going to be no one in there, no ghosts, no ghoulies, and then we'll all drink and smoke and have a nice night, okay?
We've seen more outlandish things than fucking spirits, mind.
Oh yes. Of course you have. Well, do they come through your toll for you to collect from? Wow, I'm spicy tonight.
Go and pick that lock. Bloody stubbornness.
Okay, what do I need to roll for lockpicking?
Hold on 1 second, please. I'm just checking this little map thing that I need to look at here. Okay.
Like,
Okay. Okay. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so can you make for me a hard lockpick test, please?
Yeah, I haven't got. It's sleight of hand I use, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have a
look
lockpick test.
oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
sleight
you
of
did.
hand you use for lockpicking.
Which you do not... Oh, no, you do have it, yeah.
Right, where?
Yeah, it's in your advanced skills at the bottom.
Oh yeah, sleight of hand. Yeah. Hard, do you say?
Yep. So you fiddle about and try to breach the door. You find that, yes, you definitely suck and can't get through.
Dark deal.
Your lockpick, you spend a good 5 minutes fiddling with the damn thing, and unfortunately, eventually, your lockpick just snaps in the lock of the door, and you're fiddling and you're messing around, and it becomes apparent that you're not getting through this door. This is beyond you.
Well, if you want, you can keep. If you want to add a set of lockpicks to your inventory, you can keep them, as you've now broken one of them.
How high does the scaffolding go on the side of the tower?
So the original structure is probably about 25 feet tall, give or take. The scaffolding on top of it now extends about another 15 feet up, where the dwarves have been doing their building of the new signal tower.
There's no way to get into the base of the tower from up there.
You don't know.
I just grab Antarius' hand and force him to knock on the door.
Why?
Because it's an elvish door, dude!
I mean, I know it's an elvish door. I'm just fucking with you.
just bodily run into Alphas. I don't
Just have him run into the door.
And can we say during the downtime earlier we got some beers?
Sure, you can have some beers if you want.
Okay, I nudge Romulo and it's like, let's go sit on the log. It's boring.
Sure, let us
They're
go.
boring.
We shall climb the scaffolding.
I mean,
First,
I don't.
want to see the elf do something.
I don't know why you think me touching this door will do anything. I touch the door, and I'm just like, come on, guys, it's just a fucking door. I don't know what you're expecting here from me.
Come on, knock properly.
I knocked the door.
It swings open after.
You lean forwards and you knock on the door twice.
See?
Nothing happens.
Nah!
It's like you are misconstruing what I do here. I am an envoy from Ulthuan. I'm no fucking wizard that knows about 1,500 or more ancient fucking buildings in the middle of the Empire. Okay?
This is like the reverse.
Just because it's elfish doesn't mean I know about it. Oh, can we please find another way into this stupid thing? Thank you.
He is the elf. He is the elf that knocks.
Seeing nothing happen, I'm gonna go climb the scaffolding and sulk at the very top.
Quite a large man. I'd be surprised if you could do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find
Yeah,
a knife.
okay. If you want to climb the scaffolding, it is an easy climb
Futile
test.
climb test.
If you are Siegfried, it is a challenging climb test.
Oh no.
I'm gonna go and sit on this log and drink with
Yeah, I'm
Ruiz
gonna-
and carouse.
I'm gonna make camp. I guess we're all out of ideas.
Siegfried starts climbing the scaffolding. You can all hear the woodwork creaking under the weight of his large frame as he starts clambering up. He gets about halfway up the ladder when there is a loud snap, a crash,
Oh no! it's
and a
Siegfried.
yell of alarm as the large man tumbles down to the ground and hits the floor hard, taking 2 wounds.
Oh.
You roll down the hill a little bit like a big pudding.
And Tarius is just like, oh no, Siegfried, no.
So deadpan as well.
Hey Kern, not Kern, sorry. Hey Ruiz, I challenge you to a gambling game. 5 pennies, let's go.
Oh, you cannot challenge me
Um,
to a game and get away with it. Let's go.
So you can go to like the top of the tower, but like not the top, or the top of the scaffolding requires a climb check, right?
Yeah, it's for anyone it is easy, but for Siegfried it's challenging.
Okay, I'm not trying to climb the scaffolding. I'm just trying to go to the top of the base of the tower. You know, the ancient building that's here.
In order for you to do that, you would either need to get through the door or climb the scaffolding.
Okay. All right.
There's no kind of like walkway to take you to the top of the tower. The
I
tower's
gotcha.
architecture kind of assumes that you'd go through the door.
Okay. Well, I'm going to.
Off.
Who won that then?
You.
Hey,
You boys throwing dice?
Antarius looks at Siegfried with contempt, and then he climbs he just does some Assassin's Creed shit and climbs the outside of the tower. He doesn't even use a ladder. He just goes straight up. He just parkours his way to the top of the tower with one hand too.
Antarius and resolves to sit on him at some point.
Alright.
join us, Kurt. Look, I have a beer for you.
Would anyone else like to get in on the gambling?
The bet is 5
I'm
I'm
dollars.
gonna walk over to the gambling.
How do you pay this? How do you play this?
Oh,
It
it
is very simple. You have to roll this dice, which hits on a skill that you have already in your head, and then depending on whether you get a high score or not, you then give brass pennies to someone else.
Okay.
While the Mayflies are immediately distracted by thoughts of coin, Antarius, the main character of the story, manages to get to the top of the tower, and getting up there, you see that it's quite dark. There are 2 torches lit up here, presumably for anyone who's doing night shift work, to do their work by candlelight. But there's nobody actually up here now.
Okay.
You've gotten your way up here. You can see it looks like this is mostly just flooring here, made out of wood. The wood here is quite old. Presumably, it must have been maybe like a ceiling for the room below, whatever it might have been. And then above you, you have the much more recent structure made out of fresh oak wood that the dwarves have been building. That's kind of towers above you by another, probably about 15 feet or so. At the top of which is like a brazier that's containing some fire. It's like half finished.
Is there like any axes nearby?
Axes,
Yeah.
like tools. There are
Yeah.
a fair few toolboxes up here. There's a few axes and saws that the dwarves have been using for their carpentry.
I'm gonna pick one up. I'm gonna hack into the wooden the top of the tower that I'm sitting on, so I can hack down into the tower, basically, see if it'll give
Right.
way or not.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. So you heft this axe with one hand.
Yep.
And you bring it slamming down onto the foundation beneath you. Can you make for me a challenging strength test, please?
I'm gonna fortune point that.
Okay.
Oops. There we go.
You start crashing your hand down into the floorboards here, carving away at the woodwork. And as you chop and you chop, you can see that you're revealing something underneath. Like you can hear that your chops are getting more hollow as you're carving through the wood, and you're pretty sure that soon you're going to break through. And indeed, you bring your hand down again, sweating with effort, as your axe crashes into the floorboards again, and this time it goes through, and you stagger in surprise as your axe is carved through and into the blackness below. And then, please, can you make a challenging dodge test, please? As you're panting from the effort of cracking through the floor, you almost don't notice it, but your elvish instincts are highly refined, and just as you're trying to recover your breath, you see this pale, ghoulish hand reach out from the hole that you've made and try to grab you by the collar and pull you down through the hole that you've just made. But you manage to dodge backwards, and you abandon the axe as it goes clattering to the ground below as you recoil away from this looming ghoulish hand that's just tried to seize you. It scrabbles angrily, clawing at the floorboards as it starts scrabbling, and then you can see that there's something like wriggling its way through the hole that you've just made.
Fantastic. I stab it.
Something monstrous and stinky.
I stab it.
Sure, can you make for me an average melee basic test, please? Or a weapon attack, please. Give me a moment.
Average?
Hear or see anything from down below?
Not yet.
Round 3 it is.
Average.
Hang on a minute. Just pulling Antarius out here.
What the hell is that?
To all the viewers, by the way, who are enjoying this rip-roaring ghost story, could I point your direction to the chat, and you'll see there is a B-plot going on. It's just as...
Well, Kern, you just need to pass your test, and you've won this round of gambling.
So, Antarius, this creature comes scrabbling out. You can attack it. You can you can make it a plus 20 on your attempt to attack, as it tries to scramble through and up onto the platform that you're on.
All right.
Yes! Pass!
Don't interrupt the play.
Right. There's a fight going on now,
Sorry.
so that's enough of your gamble spam, please, guys. Thank you. No damage values. Please make sure the attacker is using a weapon. What? Hang on a minute.
Oh, shit.
Did you attack with your rapier?
Oh no, I used the weapon
Okay,
skill.
it's alright. I'll do it for you. Hang on.
Oh yeah, you said use weapon skill to make an attack, and I was like, okay.
There you go. You can have that one instead. That's nice.
All right.
There you go. Look at that. Even better.
Jesus.
Fuck him up.
Yeah, I fucked them up. Let's go, baby.
What is this ability? Oh, okay, interesting. Spicy.
That elf is taking an awful long time.
You skewer the monster as it comes scrabbling out from underneath, and it lets out this hiss as it claws up at you, and its drooling maw comes lunging forward as it tries to sink its teeth into your flesh and stab you with its sharpened knife.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Sharpened bone.
Okay, you managed to avoid the first attack. Give yourself 2 advantage, because you should have had one familiar. I've done that for you. But it does something else. Oh no, it attacks twice!
Oh no!
Oh no!
I mean, I have like such high dodge. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, you've not even failed. Gain another advantage as you nimbly dance away from the creature's hungering maw.
Okay, so is it completely on top of the roof with me now?
Yep.
Can I throw it off the top of this tower? I'm gonna throw it at like the guys gambling down below. just to live up with the elvish meme of being disdainful to fucking humans.
Okay, sure. Make a unarmed test against it, please.
Challenging.
Yep. So just target it, and then you can make an unarmed roll. Oh,
yeah.
Fucking god. You lunge forward with speed and ferocity, and the creature grapples with you for a bit, trying to bite you, but you nimbly wriggle around and you get it in a headlock with one arm, and you come dragging it towards the edge of the tower, and then with a mighty grunt of effort you fling it over the side of the tower, and it goes spiraling out into the air, letting out a monstrous shriek as it comes tumbling down and lands directly on top of the small dice board that the others are playing with.
You want us to take a dodge test or something?
Yeah, all of you can make a challenging dodge test, please, to avoid being hit by a falling ghoul.
Yes! Oh,
That's a drive test.
Oh no, he made a drive test.
I mean, that would be a pass if it was dodge as well, so can I keep it, or...
Sorry,
you rolled
wait,
the wrong
we
thing.
dodge
You need to dodge a falling corpse.
Reese and Kurt get out of the way.
Ah!
Oh, Romolo gets out of the way. It's just Siegfried.
Romolo and Siegfried are arguing over some gambling, where one of them is not happy with the result, and just as they're arguing over the dice, suddenly there's a loud crash as this ghoul lands directly on top of Siegfried, bringing him down to the ground as he flops down, now smothered by this monstrous thing, this corpse, dripping in black blood and green ichor, its eyes this flickering yellow light. Siegfried, can you take 2 wounds, please? And make a challenging cool test.
Nope.
Siegfried, you are frightened.
Frightened and prone. Great.
Yes, frightened and prone. The animal the ghoul lands on top of you, squirming and groaning. It gurgles wetly, leaking this black fluid over Siegfried.
My Sigmar's still alive! What is that thing?
Did it take any fall damage from landing on top of me?
It is barely moving. It's twitching.
I'm not remotely surprised at the appearance of a rotting thing landing on top of me. I'm going to smack my axe into its head.
Okay. Romolo brings his axe crashing down onto the creature and brains it quite violently. It's helpless and unable to resist. He skewers it in the back of its head, causing more grey matter to spew out, along with more gross fluids. It continues to twitch a little bit, and then slowly falls still.
Can I stand up and then take out my scimitar and keep hacking at it? Now that it stopped twitching.
Yeah, sure. You shove the corpse off, horrified and revolted. You start carving at it with your weapon.
And Tarius casually leans over the side of the tower and goes like, "You having fun down there?"
I'm gonna.
Antarius, come down! Look, we've solved it. Is it Romulo killed the beast?
Oh yeah, you guys are doing great. Good job.
What are you doing up there? Come on, don't be silly.
Oh, I probably found a way into the tower, so I'm going to go in.
Someone help me up.
How deep is the drop into the tower from where I'm at? From the hole
so
I made.
You are an elf, and therefore a special snowflake, and have night vision. Therefore, you can see that the drop is probably somewhere between 10 to 15 feet.
Is there any rope nearby?
There is some rope up here, yeah, that they've been using to bind some of the scaffolding. You could lower a rope down and probably tie it to some of the foundations here without too much difficulty.
All right, yeah, that's what I do. I tie up the rope and then I'll climb my way into the tower.
Okay, so it takes Antarius probably a minute or two to get that set up. While he's doing that, does anyone else go up the tower?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone's
this is,
helping me because
straight
I
up.
fell off already.
No, I'm just gonna climb it.
Get fucked, Siegfried, I guess.
Well, if I notice them climbing up the tower too, like I did, can I just throw them down the rope to give them bonuses to their climb checks so they get up here easier? And
Yeah, sure. Okay, anybody can get
Yeah.
up for free. You don't need to make a
Yeah.
roll.
Okay, in that case, I'll follow them all up now that there's.
Yeah.
I guess we're climbing the tower.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine. The group of you managed to between the group of you, you managed to all get up to the top, brushing yourselves off. What do you do with the corpse of the ghoul?
Just
I've
leave it
chopped
on
the head
looking
off.
for-
Do you just leave it on the ground?
I'm just gonna leave it right there. Yeah,
He's dead.
Okay.
it's dead. It's not going anywhere.
Okay. Alright, you just leave it on the ground. That's fine. Alright.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you all make your way up to the top of the tower.
All right. With everybody up here, I again put the rope into the hole that I made, and then I'm gonna say, "Oh well, I found the way in," and I start climbing my way down.
Can I peer in and see what Antarius saw? Because I've got night vision as well, and then go after him.
You have night vision.
Yes.
What? Why?
He's a
Random race roll.
You do have night vision. What the fuck?
He's a mutant.
It was
the
the
fuck?
random roll for one of the character talents.
Alright,
Character
okay.
creation.
That's fine. Just hang on a sec. I just need to read a little bit because this part's a bit confusing actually.
I'm also
like
gonna
carrots.
draw my bow as soon as I get to the bottom. Not getting any more ghouls falling on top of me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you start descending the rope. And you land in what looks like some sort of old kind of observatory. by the looks of it. Antarius and Siegfried can see reasonably well down here. The others are going to have a bit of difficulty. It's very, very dark down here. Unless you take some kind of light source, the rest of you are going to be stumbling around a bit. You can see vague silhouettes and outlines, but it's really dark and hard to see.
Does anyone have a torch?
Yes, I do. I do actually.
There were some
'Cause-
torches up top that we.
No,
could
no, it's
grab.
okay, guys. I have a fucking storm lantern.
That'll do the trick, yeah.
It provides illumination for 20 yards.
There's a few clinkings of charcoal stick before eventually there's a fire lit with a bit of flint, and the lantern starts burning. And indeed, you've now illuminated what looks like an old, possibly somewhere between a bedroom and an observatory, by the looks of it. There's a large mirror in the window. There's a bed in the corner, very musty, very moth-ridden. And quite disgustingly, there is the rotting, fly-covered remains of some sort of corpse down here.
Dwarf-sized?
Not far from the fire pit. Indeed, dwarf-sized.
One or more?
There is one. There's one corpse here.
Can I take an evaluate test to take a guess at how many days old it is?
Sure, go ahead. That's fine. You discern it's probably maybe 3 days old.
That's about the time that last dwarf went missing.
Oh, well.
The rest of this room, obviously there is a small telescope set up near a shuttered hole that looks like it's kind of like I suppose you could describe it like a hatch sort of thing that's like reinforced into the wall. It can be opened with the handle and a lock, and then presumably the telescope can be pointed out of it.
Is the
Oh,
telescope
larger
in a good
telescope?
condition?
Reasonably large telescope.
Is it in a good nick?
Seems to be, from what you can
Ah.
tell. Obviously
we
you're
can
not an
take
expert.
this.
You're not an expert in telescopes, but looks like a decent piece of equipment. There's a small desk here with a few charts on it and faded paper, and a small stairway that leads further down into a lower level.
I'm going to go down the stairs because there's more dwarves to be found. I suspect we'll find.
I'm going to try and like open up whatever I guess it's like an observatory hatch or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Just kind of open it up and see where it was pointing to. See if there's something. I don't know. Cunt's a stargazer. You see. Many moons upon the open waters under clear skies.
Shoot for the moon, kid, because at least if you miss, you'll hit the stars.
Mama Murphy knows.
Yeah, sure. Can you make for me a challenging navigation test, please?
Oh, jeez.
You
Navigation, a basic skill.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
You take the telescope and you turn it about to and fro a little bit, and you try to have a look at what it might have been aiming towards, but either it's the weather or the conditions at the moment, but you can't really figure out anything in particular. It's not a very clear night either, so it's not ideal conditions for stargazing.
Cunt doesn't notice this and blames the dust on the lens.
Can I discern anything from the notes?
Taking a look over at the notes, the first thing you would notice is that they are written in a script that... Let me check. You do not speak.
Okay.
The letters look kind of familiar to Imperial, Reichsspiel, but it's definitely not Reichsspiel. It's almost as if it's using the same alphabet, but it's a different language.
Oh, probably class.
I'll hold on to the, or I'll ask anybody else if they know how to read the letters or whatever.
I'm just, I guess Cunt's just gonna start dusting down and packing up what he can of this telescope. He's found his prize.
Okay, that's fine. Is anybody else reacting to either the telescope, the corpse, the stairs, or the notes on the table?
Yeah, I want to have a look at the stairs.
You wanna look at the what,
looking
sorry?
around for more doors.
Out the stairs, let's go.
Okay.
See where they lead.
Alright, fair enough. So Antarius asks around if anyone can read the script, but nobody responds, so you're kind of left with these books, these charts. You make your way down towards the stairs. You can see that they lead down towards what looks like a lower floor that heads into some kind of like stone structure. Like, whereas with what you've been dealing with up until now is like a mixture of wood and slate. Going down there, it looks like it's made of like a different structure, almost as if it was a more recent building had been built on top of something older underneath, made out of
Anything moving?
reinforced stone. You can't see anything moving down there. It's a spiral staircase, so you can't see around the corner. But
I thought I was at front down the stairs. Sorry.
so you proceed down. You find yourself coming into what looks like some sort of entrance hall. You can see that there are these strange geometric patterns all over the floor, the walls, and the ceiling. Dots connected by lines, triangles within squares, within circles, within moons, within stars. Strange shapes of esoteric meaning.
Where's the wizard?
As you walk along the pathway, there's dust falling from the ceilings. Oh, the door is all covered in cobwebs. There are... Let me just see here.
Can I pay particular attention to any creatures in the ceilings, as I'm scared of something else falling on top of them?
There are 4 doors in this entrance hall, surrounded by these strange shapes. One at the far end of the corridor, and then 2 on either side.
I'd like to make a marking on one of the doors.
Okay.
Whether that's just a tip of my blade or something, I'd like to put 1 on it.
Okay, as you draw your weapon and approach one of the doors. As you reach out to touch your steel to it, you hear a voice whisper, something hiss on the wind as your weapon touches the door, and it hisses, "Go back!"
No!
Did only Romulo hear that whisper, or
No,
are we all heard it then?
anybody could have heard that.
Cool. I'm gonna have an arrow knocked to my bow at this point.
I'm
Nice
still going to make
flaming
that
one.
one on the door.
You decide to ignore the threatening whisper from whatever that magic was, and you carve a little Talayan 1 into the door.
Romulo, open the door. I've got my bow drawn. If anything moves, I'll shoot it.
That sounds like a plan, but perhaps we should get the rest of the people down here.
Back in
I think
1 minute.
Alpha's would be a good idea. Oh, excellent. While Liam's gone. Okay, I'd like to give a shout out, please, to Star Wars Anime, because they are our #1 fan. They commented on our last video saying they're our #1 fan. So, yeah, shout out to you. Thanks for staying with us so long.
Not only a #1.
Remember to like and subscribe, and maybe check out the shop. You can have yourself some of our merchandise. It's all there. Christmas around the corner, and we're giving 2% off on everything.
But we don't sell anything.
This month's special is Cunts use socks.
I mean, I don't know. Let's.
Do you ever wonder
how
what
hard
it's
is it to
like
make?
to be in the shoes of Cunt Schneifer? Well, now you nearly can by going into his socks instead.
We could design our own T-shirts for a tenner.
Or like,
I wanted to rob this guy, but Lorne stopped me.
I like the idea of trousers, which where like one of the from the knee downwards, it's like red and bloody, and it's just like your Whittle shot me trousers.
Romulo, what is it now? I wanted to rob this guy, but Siegfried got there first.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say for the back. Or just like on the front, it can be like, Lorne is protecting me, you can't rob me, and then on the back it's just a little arrow pointing at my pocket saying, the wallet's already gone, Siegfried was here.
I suppose it's good that I'm not playing both characters at the same time. I think I would develop bipolar or some sort of multi-person.
I was so
You
close.
just got us cancelled, you can't make jokes about mental health.
I was so close to breaking Liam earlier. I just
Yeah, you were
needed to
close,
talk
man.
to a few more crew members.
Right, so I've carved a one in the door, and I'm going to shout up to everybody else, like, guys, get down here, especially because I have the storm lantern, so no one else can see without me.
Yeah.
Well, me and Antarius can.
Yeah, I mean, I can also see in the dark, but my point is more that, people upstairs would be very good.
I suppose the storm lantern's quite nice because you can tie that onto your belt as well.
Well, I guess
Yeah, and it's windproof.
I guess I don't know. I guess I've packed up the fucking telescope or some shit, folded it, kept it safe, moved it somewhere safe, and came down. Here we go. A gift for Renee. We need to keep the morale up because they might leave us.
They might leave us at this rate. The pay here is a lot better than we're paying them with fucking Quartermaster Siegfried in charge.
We need to revise how we do our shares because I believe now everyone should be equal in part of the wealth that the ship accumulates.
This sounds like communism.
Not equal.
This sounds
not-
like the taxman
not
trying to
equal,
get his cut
obviously
without doing any work.
Not equal. Obviously, I get more because it's my ship, and then Renee because she's the most valuable member.
And then me, because you wouldn't actually sell anything.
And then, well, you're gonna get money anyway because you always fucking cut the books.
I forget what it was called, but there was a thing I remember reading in Moby Dick way back in the day.
Okay.
About how they shared it out on whaling ships. And it was done basically like that, where the captain got like a quarter,
Captain
and then
got 2 shares and everybody else got 1, I think it was.
yeah, I think it was shared. It was something like that they called. But then everyone worked out like roughly what percentage they get of the profits, and it was all done like that. That's one way you could do it.
So can anyone give me a quick shout on what you guys are doing now?
I think the other guys are just making their way
Advertising.
down the stairs after Romulo shouted them.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
took a sponsor.
I carved the one on the door. I haven't opened it yet, and I've shouted for the others to come downstairs.
Okay.
And
Yep.
I've got an arrow knocked and ready to draw as soon as he opens it.
Yeah, I'm coming downstairs. Leaving the telescope for later.
Okay. Okay, you step forward and you push on the door, and it creaks before slowly giving way to the force of Romolo's push. Opening up, Romolo, are you holding up the storm lantern?
I've attached it to my belt, so
Right.
it's there so I can wield because my axe is a two-handed weapon.
Okay. You push the door open. Are you doing it quickly or cautiously?
I'm gonna open the handle slightly and then just boot it and kind of step to the side, axe above my head.
So I can loose an arrow without anything being in the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doing so, you give it a quick shove with your foot and then step to the side, opening the way for Siegfried, who can see stood in the middle of what looks like some sort of study, library, similar kind of room of some kind. You only have a few seconds to take in the details before you see this slobbering, undead corpse come shambling towards you. Its
And I'm
yellow
already
eyes
loosening
gleaming.
the incendiary arrow I'd had knocked.
Okay. Give me a second here. Where
So,
are
Is
you?
that a surprise action, is it?
Yep.
Hold on, my dog's coming.
Hang on. Where is Ronaldo? There he is. Okay. And that combat.
Is it a dwarf-sized target, by the way, or is it an actual...
This is man-sized.
Cool.
Siegfried, you have a surprise round.
Yep. Is there a zombie to target?
Mm-hmm. Should be right in front of you.
I can't see it.
You can't see that?
No, I can see your ping, but I can't actually see the
Really?
character icon.
Yeah, I'm still on the other map as well.
It's on the overmap as well. He's just zoomed in the characters, I think.
That's interesting. So you can't see that?
No, I can't. I can see my token and Romolo's and Antarius's, but can't see the zombies.
Hang on a minute. That's very curious. Why would that be the case? That doesn't make any sense, really.
Oh, now the screen's gone black. Take it you've just loaded up a combat scene?
No.
Oh.
You should be able
Oh,
to.
I've done that then.
It should reload itself in a minute. It's very odd that you can't see that. It doesn't make any sense. Can you see the ghoul champion?
Yeah,
But you guys can't see the zombie.
I can see him.
Oh, you can. See, okay, so Lex can see him. It's just you.
My screen's just gone black, so I can't actually see anything
And then
at
there's
this
the
point.
zombie there. I can't see me.
I think Ben might be glitched. I think you need to relaunch.
Sorry about that, lads.
Do you just want to target it for me, and I can do the roll whilst I...
Yeah, let me just roll your death jack bow. Yeah.
I've already added the advantage for the surprise. It's just that now sorts the modifiers out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Back to join screen. Tell me what happens, because I can't see the rolls.
So you've inflicted damage and you've caused 9 ablaze conditions.
Oh, nice. I love these arrows.
I think what I might do is I might house rule to cap that at 4 in the future.
That probably would be fair enough.
Because 1 plus SL is kind of ridiculous when you can get really high rolls with ranged weapons, but that's fine. Okay, so Romolo, hang on, let me just exit Steam here. It's being annoying. Romolo,
Then after I shot the arrow, can I just move back out the way of the door to allow Romolo to?
you were already out of the way, so that's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, so Romolo, you hear the arrow go boom inside, and you can smell the fire that is now all over this room covered in paper and books and wood.
Shouldn't create an explosion. It should just be more of a localized thing. It's
Yeah,
not a...
you've set fire, a pretty significant fire, to a pretty flammable object in the middle of a room also full of flammable objects.
If anything, you over succeeded.
One way of looking at it.
That is an
Unexpected.
unfortunate roll.
I know, right? I missed, but you know, let's see if it works or not. No. Ah, well.
Well, I guess I'm like at the stairwell with my crossbow, but I don't think I can get a clear shot with the two of them in front.
I mean, I think it's still in the other room at this point, isn't it?
Yeah, you're definitely coming into some cramped conditions at this point. Where's Ruiz? Is he down here, I assume?
Yeah. I was saying I can't see my character really.
I've just brought him in for you now. Okay, so that's the surprise round over. Looks like it's Kurt's turn, who is the first to turn up. As
Should the zombie
comes...
not take those ablaze conditions?
He takes it on. Oh no, he should. Yeah. Apply ablaze. Okay, done.
Ooh.
Yep. It continues to smoulder and shriek, and you can all smell burning flesh.
This is just one of the doors.
Yeah, one of the doors that has been opened. Yeah.
I guess everyone will protest if I open the second door.
Yeah.
At this point, yes.
Is that hard, mate? Do we get more loot?
I mean, it could be some puzzle. Hold on.
Okay.
Back.
So you've made your way down the stairs. You've got this crossbow in your hands. You can see Siegfried and Romolo is charged into the room and is currently in hand-to-hand combat with this zombie.
Possible the other one is the champion, right?
I guess I swap positions where Romolo was standing, like in the doorway, and try and get a shot off.
You can do that if you want, but Romolo is engaged in melee.
That's
with
minus
the zombie.
20 penalty, and if you miss, you can hit Romolo, depending on DM's decision.
I'm gonna guard the stairway. I'm gonna guard the stairway.
Guard the stairway. Okay.
All that time for a pass, sorry.
Alright. Ruiz comes down more or less at the same time. You can open up one of the other doors if you really want to, or you can follow Romolo inside.
Open up the door.
No, if he's fighting a champion, even if it's a skeleton, that's where I should be.
I think the champion is the thing that fell on me earlier.
Well, speaking of that, is oops. What is my mouse doing? Stop! Such a pain.
Oh, never mind. I'll just hit instead. Yeah, okay. Kill the other.
Okay, yep, sure. You go in. You go to assist your Telean comrade as you try to dispatch this creature. Go for it.
You're attacking from the rear of it. Never mind.
Yeah, I was going to say I should have extra, but never mind.
Tell us how Ruiz dispatches this monster, this blazing undead creature.
I am going to go for the... Well, I imagine they haven't got organs and stuff. I'm going to go for the tendons and just like collapse it into a pile of shrieking mess.
You perform this fancy Z motion with your weapon, slashing between all the different tendons on the arms and legs, causing it to cripple down to the ground and squirm on the floor as it smoulders and burns and it dies, and you get to have a cool moment where you kind of look down at it with contempt.
And then just, through the skull, finish it.
And you skewer it through the brain, and the damage is
With a
done.
burning skull.
But the carpet underneath it has now begun to catch fire.
I'm gonna walk over and can I pour out my wineskin full of water over it, and then just try and stamp it out.
I'd like to whip out my penis and start pissing.
Yeah, actually I'll do that instead. Seeing.
Are you all going to start pissing on it?
Yep.
Okay. Alright.
I worry about you guys.
Okay, can you...
It works.
Can you make a difficult endurance test, please?
What, to urinate?
To urinate enough?
I mean,
Oh, I see.
he's been on the beers this evening, so.
Didn't I piss on the fire in an earlier episode?
Don't think so.
I think you got
Oh, I
experience on
I
this.
shat in a drawer, that was it, sorry.
You did shit in a drawer, yes.
Yeah, that was it.
Hang a minute. We've missed something very big. This is a burning humanoid, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we not have Kent curled up in a ball crying?
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm not
Oh
in the room.
god, yeah.
I want this to
Can he
prove-
see this? Yeah, because as soon as he saw it, he should have had his PTSD, shouldn't he?
Maybe, I don't know. It's seen a lot of shit lately.
Well, I mean, he would come into the room, surely.
Yeah, he would have looked for...
Unless, you know...
I don't know. Let's not tell Kern what he's doing. He's a bit of a coward. He was probably watching the entrance, guarding it with his crossbow. That's what he said he was doing. So it's fine.
Rear guard, the most prestigious.
Okay, so Romolo, you actually seem to have enough in the tank to mostly put out this fire before any significant damage has been caused. Although the carpet is definitely now ruined beyond repair with large singe marks. The room now stinks of rotten flesh, burnt meat, and piss. It's pretty
Wow.
disgusting.
That was successful. Let's move on to the next room.
Well, first we should look around this room, no? Is there anything in here?
Do you want any of these undead to open a door on us when we're looking, snooping?
Well, if they haven't opened the door in the years they've been rotting, then it's probably fine for another 2 minutes, you know?
I mean, Kern's watching the door. Do you trust him?
Sure.
Antarius.
You know, these walls echo, you know. Sorry.
Is Antarius in the room? Where is he?
Yeah, I'm in the room.
Okay.
Like
You can see that there is a grey magical wind flowing still, even now, over the corpse of the monster, flowing around its stomach.
Oh.
Specifically the stomach, not the rest of the body, the stomach.
Jeez.
The dwarf's pregnant.
They just pissed all over it too. Jeez. I go, hey Siegfried, there's some coins in its belly. You should open it up. Can't you see the glint right there?
Can I take a test to see if he's bullshitting?
I'll roll charm, and you can roll whatever.
You roll sense motive, I guess.
What would that be?
Challenging.
Intuition, I'm guessing?
Intuition, yeah.
Fuck, I rolled like shit. Damn.
So did he, but you rolled shitter.
Yeah.
You have the sense that maybe Antarius might have an ulterior motive.
I'm gonna bluntly say, you're bullshitting. What do you see?
There's winds of magic around its stomach.
Romulo, just mind cutting its stomach for me as I take a step back and load another arrow.
As soon as he says that, I'll be like, I do not care, it is my piss. And I'm just going to I'll pull out my dagger and start cutting open the body.
This is the kind of...
To use his big axe, so he.
You're a man who's used to gruesome work.
Yeah.
You're used to butcher's work, but even for you, this is pretty grim. Can you make an average cool test?
I mean, I cut off someone's fingernails earlier, but sure.
You're carving into the burnt flesh of a piss-soaked zombie. You get the... Oh, he gets the job done. He gets the job done like a professional. He doesn't give a fuck. The knife cuts in and he starts methodically slicing open the stomach. Just gets his hand in there. There's no problems. Get it all open. Get the organs out. What are we looking at in here? Oh, what's this? With a yank and a twist and a grunt, Romolo rips a 3-foot iron rod out of its abdomen.
That's
It's circular, cylindrical. It's about 3 feet long, give or take. Maybe a bit less.
That the magical
maybe
thing you
2.5.
saw in him?
And indeed, the grey winds seem to move away from the creature's stomach and now surround and swirl around this grey rod.
Yep. I have no idea what that is.
If only we knew a grey wizard.
If only we knew a grey wizard.
If only we had a wizard.
Antarius, did you say this was a grey wind to me, or did you just say it was magical?
I just said it was magical.
Yeah,
Can
only
I-
Antarius knows it is the Grey Wind.
Can I evaluate this, please, as an object of potential value?
You can do.
Can
Yeah,
I
it'll be
do
average.
so as well.
You can both do it. You can both make an average test. Anyone who wants to make an average test. So, first thing that you can assess about it, this thing is made out of a very pure form of metal. It has almost no impurities whatsoever, which is interesting, because that doesn't really improve its quality or its sturdiness or its durability or anything. So, the purpose for that is like it's really expensive, and the need for it is kind of pointless. Like it doesn't even help because like obviously like steel is like it's not like carbonated or anything. Like it's very pure. So it's
Would Siegfried know that he could sell pure metals probably to wizards? Might have more need of it then.
I don't see why you would. No.
Okay.
All you know is that this object is presumably arcane in some form, seeing as Antarius has told you that it's magic. But apart from that, the only thing you guys can physically assess is that it's made out of a very pure form of metal.
Let's give this to the wizard, but not tell him where we got it from.
Do I get any kind of idea of its value? I did get quite a good
You like as it's kind of a difficult one because it's you're not sure who you'd sell it to, so you don't really know. I mean, if you melted the metal down and then tried to sell it as ingots, maybe you'd make 5 crowns, maybe 4.
Ooh, I'm gonna stick that in my back.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at you, Romulo, with a knowing look.
I'm just gonna raise an eyebrow.
You said there was also some books here too?
You're in what looks like a study of some kind. There is a writing desk here. There are several charts, maps, shelves with books on them, as well as a few portraits on the wall.
What are the portraits representing? Are they human or elvish or what?
They are very old. They have been painted in the classical style that Ruiz would be familiar with. He has seen their like in Estalia before. In fact, I suppose Romola would be too, actually.
Would I have some knowledge of it, seeing as it sounds like it could be sold for quite a bit?
No. You don't know about everything just because it sells for money. No. You don't know anything about art. Why would you? Romolo and Ruiz, however, this is like a thing of fairly cultural significance to you. The artists who have designed these, they've used very realistic, very lifelike techniques that are still practiced in Telea and Estalia today, but is generally a bit rarer in the Empire nowadays. Normally they go for more of a impressionistic style.
Yes, this is definitely pretty Raphaelite. I am thinking.
That's
Perhaps even the Renaissance.
That said, the people that are portrayed in these pictures, they don't look like they're from the south. They have fairly pale skin, even. It seems that they have features that might suggest they're from the north, maybe Middenheim or Nordland.
I mean, dude, it's the 21st century. I don't know if you're allowed to remark on that.
Well, it is what it is. We're dealing with we're dealing with a grim world of perilous adventure and possibly also racism.
Definitely from the north and not Sylvania.
You don't know.
Okay.
Well, my friends, we should.
All you know is that they don't look like people who would traditionally be interpreted to be Telean or Estalian.
What languages are the notes written in? Are they more Reichland?
They are the same language as the one that you saw upstairs.
As I'm here and would have traded with scholarly
No.
texts, would
No
I know
idea.
No!
language even if I can't read it?
No!
Okay.
Fucking hell.
So, what's the risottos anyway? I guess Cunt's gonna progress the story and look for another.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
kind of
gonna
greedy.
set
Do I
up
speak
the
Latin?
Yeah,
I'm not asking if I speak it. I'm asking if I can recognize it.
No, I don't think so. I don't see why you would.
I'm
Okay.
gonna step out back into the main room part and be like, Mr. Kent, we have 3 doors. Behind one of these doors is a prize. Behind one of them is a goat. Behind one is nothing. Which one do you choose? 2, 3, or 4?
I'm feeling lucky on 4.
Hold on. What was
Okay.
Ruiz doing? Sorry.
I'm just going to study the paintings. Like, is there anything else I can get from them?
Okay, looking at them,
Is
you
it
can
like,
see.
does it look like it's done by an artist from a foreign land copying a style from a different land, or does it look legitimately like it was done by as a part of that art movement, but in another place or another
Jesus Christ.
thing?
You're asking some very particular things, buddy.
What I'm trying to find. Okay, let me put it in.
Lex is well built.
What I want to know is, does it look like it was done by like a classical artist, or does it look like it's someone else copying the style of a classical artist?
I want you to make a difficult evaluate test, please. If you had some kind of art-related skill, I might be more generous, but you don't.
As in, language category probably doesn't help. I don't think the studying guitar is going to help me.
The stallion doesn't know what this art's from? God.
Hilariously, the only person here who reads and... Oh, no, wait, no, there's Romolo. Never mind.
What?
Romolo reads and writes classical.
No, I don't.
Actually,
Is it
no,
hard?
no, you don't. Never mind. No, you don't. You don't at all.
I can speak. I
Talking
can speak
shit.
for Leighton. That's about it.
Yeah. No, I'm talking shit. No. Ruiz can speak classical. We can't read it.
Alright.
Can't read or write it. The only one who can is Erwin Block.
Yay!
Goddamn wizard.
Ruiz, you are not really an expert in art, and as you appraise these paintings, you realise that's a bit of a hole in your life. Maybe you should fix that. But anyway, you're kind of looking at these paintings, and you're thinking, they're definitely impressive, and they're definitely on the sort of quality that you might have seen in like many of the public forums and buildings in the great cities of the south, in Estalia or Talea, or yeah, like
You said
Machine,
great cities, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Stanley.
Right, yeah, sure. However you're feeling about it, that's fine. But interestingly, there's something about it strikes you as though it's older. It's an older style somehow. It's strange. Like these paintings, obviously, looking at them, you can tell they must be thousands of years old. These are ancient. And looking at the little inscriptions underneath, it seems that they've been signed off in classical. But obviously you can't read and you can't make out what the little signatures are.
Interesting.
You just know that you've seen similar types of inscriptions in some of the very old buildings in Talea, in Estalia. Like some of the old monuments and statues and stuff, like some of the inscriptions, they kind of look similar.
Okay.
Over on the table that Antarius was near a little bit earlier, there are a handful of notes, what looks like calculations of some kind in various sheets and books, like mathematical formulae, and a few maps as well.
Do I see anything mentioning the red crown or the purple hand?
No, you do not. Do you have... Let me just check your skills.
I probably don't have the skills.
Actually, can you make... you make a difficult law Skaven test, please?
Oh,
Interesting. That's convenient for you. Okay. So as you're looking over all of this information, and you're kind of examining it all one by one, and then there's something that catches your eye about this map. You see that there's several locations that have been marked on it, and you're kind of like tracing this path, and you're trying to figure out what it is, and it reflects something. You're not entirely sure what. There's like these dotted lines and these curvatures, and there's calculations written in the corners that seem to be some sort of formula. You're not entirely sure what to make of them. And just as you're looking at it, you kind of realise with a sudden start that it makes the shape of an upside-down triangle. A symbol that you've seen before, markings of the Skaven.
Oh no!
Oh
Let me
no,
just
what,
take-
Antares?
We're in.
I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you a little something. This is what you're looking at. I'm going to show it to Antarius. This is what you're looking at.
This wouldn't happen to be that tower that had the bell that created Haven, would it be?
No.
No.
Glad to hear that.
That's just a legend.
Okay.
So Antarius is peering thoughtfully at this map for a little bit. You kind of get the feeling you should come back here with Owen Block.
Yeah.
Someone fetch him from the loo.
Is there more to explore down here?
Certainly there is. In this particular room, there is, of course, also the desk itself, that has a handful of like cabinets and drawers and stuff. You could try and break into them if you were so inclined.
Sure, I'll break into them.
You can have a choice of either a average lock-picking test or a strength test. It is up to you. Or your companions, if anyone wants to help you.
I think we're clearing the next room, aren't we?
Fuck.
As Romolo and Kernt and Siegfried make their way over to the door marked 4, I guess. Were you going for?
I think that's what we decided for, wasn't it?
Yes, door number 4.
Okay, so that's the one at the end of the corridor. Right, you make your way over to it, and you see here that the door is made out of what looks like some sort of reinforced stone, some sort of like hardened material. You look at it closely, you can see that you could try and push on it if you wanted to. There is a knocker and a lock. You could try and get it open if you were so inclined.
Well,
You also
I'm standing
see-
back with the arrow locked, ready to fire on anything should the door open.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you've
As-
got this.
As we passed by the other doors, were they all the same or were they all different?
The other doors look a bit different. The other doors are made out of reinforced wood. This one's made out of stone. You can also see that more of the geometric patterns that follow along the floor and the ceiling, they also extend onto this door as well.
Okay. If my nose is led me to anything, it's I think this is the catalyst of whatever's happening here.
Suspect you're right. Push on the door.
No, I pushed on the door last time. And plus, look, it's too heavy. Romulo, you're a young strapping man. Why don't you try it?
Is the door not opening?
Pushing on the door, it does start to rumble slightly as it grinds along the floor, dragging. It's quite heavy. You heave at it.
I'm gonna wiggle my rod at it. Does it open any quicker?
His
No,
rod
no.
from the guts. Of
Yeah, sure. You wiggle your iron rod at it, but it does nothing. You
Okay.
continue to shove at it with effort, grunting and groaning as you try to push it ajar. Before finally, with a loud thud, you reveal a circular chamber here
Anything
in the heart
done?
of the tower. You can see that these geometric shapes they all come pushing through this door into the middle of this room, where there is a star-shaped hexagram on the floor.
Okay.
It appears to have been inscribed with some sort of material. And perhaps the most alarming thing about it is that it's glowing blue.
So, no humanoid figures in there or anything moving.
Not that you can see.
Shall we
Can I-
check
I'd
the
like
other
to
doors to
examine.
make sure there's nothing unliving? Or
I mean, I
touch the
prefer
blue
to check out
shiny
this-
thing.
let's check out the blue shiny thing. I'll be honest with you, I've got ADHD. As does Romulo. Romulo also has ADHD.
Ooh, shiny.
Kant puts on his mask and gets prepared.
Well, as Kern dons his mask, we're actually going to draw this session to a close.
What a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Give you guys something spicy to look forward to next week. Or maybe you'll have the fucking wizard that really should be here right now. Like, this is a session full of wizard content. There's no wizard.
I think
Guys,
it's
I
quite
think
funny
it's really
how
important.
we missed last session
But we've
when
only
we
got
had the
two
wizard.
guys who can read.
Yeah.
The downsides of illiteracy.
Guys, I think that judging by this hexagram thingy that's glowing blue, we should probably run away and call the wizard to come with us first, yes?
Probably. That's a safe shout, my friend, amigos.
Haha, you are learning the tongue, yes.
We could always push the elf in the room and see what happened.
The only other thing to bear in note is that in the middle of that hexagram, in the middle of that star, is another corpse. A torn up, rotting mound of flesh. Dwarf-sized.
I whip my cock out.
And on that bombshell, good night. Alright, so
Nice.
XP for today. Well done, everybody. You all did some good RP. I was quite pleased with that. I think, did we do a bit better this session? Did everyone feel like they got their fair bit of
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I enjoyed insulting those dwarves the best.
I can see your name is now in the book of grudges, and any dwarf will no longer deal with you.
Yeah, for sure. I think Ruiz and Romolo, I think I'm going to give you both 70 today. You got up to some spicy antics, and I think you did quite well. You guys kind of, I think you kind of took the lead a fair bit on this one, which was nice to see. Siegfried did pretty well as well. I'm going to give you 60. You did some interesting stuff, even if you did ask a few obnoxious questions. But like, I appreciate that you were trying to move the plot forward. That's pretty good. You had some interesting ideas. I was quite entertained by you trying to climb the ladder.
I'm going to ask for a bonus when I try grappling someone now, because you've penalised him for his weight.
Yeah, fair enough, I guess. Swings and roundabouts, right? Yeah, you did some good stuff. You kept moving the plot forward. That was nice. You kept investigating. That was good. Kernt, you did some nice stuff as well. I was quite happy with you. I'm going to give you 60 as well.
Yay.
It was good to see you talking with Iron Yours. You always kind of get people on the move, which is nice to see. And Antorius, of course. Antorius was fantastic. I'm actually going to give you 70 today.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Yeah, you did really well as well. You had a good little talk with Alphys, and you at first you were a bit quiet, but I think you kind of came into your own and you had a cool little fight with the ghoul. So yeah, all around good stuff.
Yeah, it's been a minute, so
Yeah, it's okay. We'll go warm up again. That's fine.
yeah.
So with that dished out, has anybody got any short-term ambitions they feel they've fulfilled that I should have a look at?
Actually, I haven't filled mine in.
We need a what's our
Yeah, mine-
short-term party ambition?
I think it's to get to Kemperbad, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah,
To
make
get
it-
temper bad. Yep.
My
Side
short
quest-
term is to solve the mystery of the tower.
Side quests, boys. We need that XP.
Side quest, side quest, side quest.
Would it be a bit obnoxious to change mine to solve the mystery of the tower now that we're actually in the tower?
Well, we've got another session, so it wouldn't.
If you want to, you can. Yeah.
I mean, it's empty at the moment and was empty.
If it's empty, then yeah, okay, it's fine. I don't mind that. I'm just going to check Ruiz's real quick.
I was trying to break you, Liam, earlier. See if you could develop some form of schizophrenia.
Right, okay. Sure thing. Let me just check Kurt's ambition real quick. Okay, yeah, no, yours seems right. Ruiz, yours is good. I just think it might be a bit long for you to achieve it. Maybe take it in a stage sort of thing. Maybe you need to try and like find his
epic quest though.
Like
what do you mean?
Try and break it down. Maybe try to find more information. Maybe.
What about
like his? I'm talking about your short term right now.
Oh.
Yeah. Maybe try to find information, like get his whereabouts, sort of thing.
Well, we did find information on him, so if I change it to information, does it count as complete?
You know what? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll give you our XP in little stages for that one, so you can have. I think we said it was 20. Did we say?
Yeah, 20 if it was a kind of like a session or two.
Yeah, a little short term. Yeah. So you can have another 20 as you did. I think you learned some stuff in Badenborn, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, you can give yourself 20 retroactively.
I understand. It's like the Red Viper all over again. It's the end of the season kind of fight. You're saving up for that. That's fine. I get it. Crowds gonna go wild. Fans love it.
Exactly.
I suppose technically we are on season 2. Fair enough.
Yeah.
We've got, if it's anything like Game of Thrones, like with season 4, we're gonna be great, and then it's downhill.
And then it's all downhill from there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the vote. I'm gonna start with Lex today.
It's a tough one because I thought everyone was great.
Yeah, everyone did well.
Let's just leave it at that. Edwin, I thought Erwin was really good.
Erwin was.
Erwin
The
got
most
his
useful
day.
member of the party for this session.
You know what? I saw Siegfried make a friend today, and I think that's special. So I'm going to go Siggy.
Fair enough. Ben?
Who did Siegfried make a friend with?
Anjuls. I think he's talking about Anjuls. Because she's like the only person in the world that agrees with you.
I'm torn between Ruiz and Romulo for the gambling and the insulting everyone. I think I'll have to give it to Ruiz, though, for probably getting his name in the Book of Grudges.
Oh, I should have taken that as a short-term thing.
To be hated by all dwarves.
Just writing my DM notes real quick. Carry on to Quinn.
Well, I'm actually going to give it to someone who didn't just meme his way through this session, so Antarius gets one from me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, there's a fair bit of memeology today, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Sometimes people want to have a laugh, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's important to be serious when it counts. Lewis?
Again, I'm kind of going with the crowd a bit, but it's a toss-up between Ruiz and Antares. However, I am inclined to lean away from the meme, so it's Antares for me. Even though I was engaged in the memeage.
Okay, Antares. So I think... And, finally Windy, of course.
Everybody was pretty good today. I did like getting Saint Ruiz getting in the Book of Grudges though for the shit talk he gave. So I guess I gotta give it to him. Yeah.
So is that 2 Antarius, 2 Ruiz?
I think so.
Yeah.
No.
We got a game. It's our game for season 2. Here we go.
Who was the first vote for?
The first person to vote was Lex.
And who did you? Because there's 5 of us, so
He voted
I
for
picked
me, I
Lex.
think.
He voted for
Oh yes, yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's 2-2. Fair enough.
Yeah, he voted for Sig. Yeah. Okay, so it's gonna be split or steal, baby.
Season 2!
Gumballs.
Oh no.
Send me them PMs. What you got? Split or steal?
Show
If they
me
both
what you
decide to
got.
split, can I try and steal it?
Antarius, you have 20 XP.
Oh,
That's
You have
it.
stolen too many times from me, my friend.
Sorry, I should have said if they both steal it, can I have it?
No, Lex has split and Wendy stole. Yeah.
Wow. What's happening to you? You're meant to be anonymous.
I think he needs to change.
Oh no,
his
you're
career.
gonna get browbeat like Althus browbeat.
Yeah, the DM can force you to change careers to criminal, you know.
Yeah.
you've changed, man. You've changed.
You changed, man.
You gave me an extra one, dude. It's not acceptable.
No, you're like kidnapping women and stuff, dude. Like, what the hell?
You
Like,
should like.
I-
You should return the wife, man. That's not cool, dude.
Like I didn't really know you before, but you've changed.
Thank you for coming, everybody. It was good to DM. I'm glad
Always
that
good
we.
to have you, DM.
I'm glad that we had a good session. Well done, guys.
Match.
So I will see you all next week. Hopefully, we'll have our fucking wizard.
Hopefully.
With any luck.
Hopefully.
We're gonna burn him on a crucifix if he doesn't show up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that if he's not here next week, I will suddenly develop my latent magic
Suddenly develop a latent magic ability.
Yeah.
At this point, I think Siegfried's corrupt enough to start worshipping the Chaos Gods, so...
I'm not that corrupt, I don't think. Let's have a
He's
look.
talking about
What do I
himself.
look like?
I'm
No, I
talking
know,
about
that's
me.
Oh god, I actually am really corrupt. Holy crap.
I mean, you're a bit of an asshole, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I've got 5 out of 7.
Yeah, there's the difference. Siegfried's got 5 out of 5.
Oh god.
So that will be the end of the stream. Good night.